Hello YouTube, my name is Paul, hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back to another pickup video. This is a shoot 'em up pickup video inspired by Ash81 before you. A channel I've been watching probably since the early days of YouTube, for me personally anyway. It's got a lovely Amiga collection. I primarily followed Ash when he was picking up games for the CD32 and the GX4000. But he's very much into his shoot 'em ups, hence why it's kind of inspired the name really for the video. He's got a couple of really good videos that he put up a little while ago showcasing his shoot 'em up collection, which I'll leave links in the description box below, also to Ash's channel. He's often picking up some strange, obscure shoot 'em ups from the continent as well. So yeah, it's got a lot of the classics that we all remember, but it's got some games that you and I have probably never even heard of, to be fair. So yeah, a lot of these games I've got myself have been sort of sat on now for a couple of years, to be fair. A couple of these are quite recent pickups. A lot of these games are very average. Some of them are a little bit difficult to get, but most of them are relatively reasonably priced, I would say. Certainly a couple of games here I'd like to upgrade because the box quality isn't particularly great, but I got them for a great price. But yeah, shoot 'em ups aren't particularly my favourite genre of game, I've got to be honest with you. I like those kind of World War II inspired shoot 'em ups like Flying Shark. I mean, I love Flying Shark in the arcade. Some decent conversions out there, and one in particular I would love to have, which is nearly impossible to find, is the FM Towns version of Flying Shark. I do actually have Flying Shark on the Amiga, quite a complicated game to get hold of, I've got to say, but unfortunately it's nowhere near as good as the Spectrum version, which plays exceptionally well. Now there's a few games here, some of these games are vertical, some are horizontal, some are top-down kind of asteroid inspired games. One thrust inspired game which I find them bloody hard to play, I really do. So the first one is kind of like the asteroid, I guess, inspired game. The game I first played when I started doing my Amiga Power Top 100 videos. And I believe I bought this game in particular bought this game from retrogames.co.uk. It's got to be a couple of years ago now. That's Quartz. Yeah, so it features in the Top 100 issue back, I think the original one, I think. Quite fast and frantic. As with a lot of games like this, they're very colourful, which kind of detracts from the gameplay a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see, but yeah, it looks a bit messy. But it literally is like an asteroid clone. You're just shooting oncoming objects coming from you from 8 different directions, picking up power-ups. There's some peculiar bonusy stages. Again, not a game I've played for that long, and it's not often you get a Firebird shooter, to be fair, apart from Flying Shark and maybe this. But yeah, it's alright. It's not a bad game. But it just doesn't come up very often. So yeah, nice one to add to the collection. I do like those Firebird boxes though. They're pretty cool, isn't they? But yeah. Don't have many Firebird games in the collection, to be fair. Right, next up is a horizontal shooting scroller, which I think... Scrolling shooter, which is probably better represented on the 8-bit machines. Now, one thing this game does have on the Amiga is a thumping soundtrack, which I absolutely love, which is Synapse. Yeah, look at that, nice and green and red. Pretty cool, isn't it? But yeah, horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up, quite a slow-paced one. Not much in the way of weapons to pick up. 3 or 4 types, I think. Got quite an odd way of actually activating the weapons as well, which isn't obvious straight away. But yeah, I liked it. I can get to the end of the first level. I don't think I've ever completed it though, the end of the first level. Again, it's one of those like games that's got very tight canyons. It's quite hard to navigate, really. But yeah, I'm not sure if this one came out in a dual case as well. I don't think it did. I know some Houston games came out big box after they were initially released in the smaller dual cases. But yeah, not much in the box really. One disc, I think, instruction pamphlet, if you like. Again, another cheap and cheerful game to pick up. You wouldn't be expected to pay more than £10 all in for that. Sometimes even cheaper. I think that was about 10 quid, I think, all in, from eBay. So Synapse. Next up, this cover always makes me laugh. Looks like the guy's having a serious shit. Pure strain. But yeah, Sonic Boom, Sega game, I believe. Yeah, this one again. Not an inspiring shooter, it's a vertical shooter. I found it quite relaxing. It's one of those games I quite like, to be honest. I couldn't get off the end of the level baddie. I don't think it got fantastic reviews, and again, a game that would cost you no more than £10 all in. But again, like most games nowadays, you don't really see a lot of them on eBay anymore, do you? But yeah, again, not much content in the box. Can't really describe too much about this one because it is a very basic, lackluster shoot 'em up. I mean, you pick up power ups the same way as most other shoot 'em ups, which make your plane that a little bit bigger, adding a bit more firepower as you go. Unfortunately, it makes your plane rather large. But yeah, a Sonic Boom. So yeah, quite cheap and cheerful so far. Digging up all the dregs, aren't I, at the minute? Bloody hell. And the next one, I preferred another game which was very similar to this, featuring dragons, called Saint Dragon. This one I think came out at the same time. It might have even been reviewed in the same issue of the same magazines back in the day. Game originally by IREM, the makers of R-Type, released by Activision. We didn't often do great conversions in my view. That's Dragon Breed. Again, it's quite interesting. You use the dragon as an extension to yourself to ram into the baddies, to block bullets and all that sort of stuff. The problem with this game over, say, Saint Dragon, the sprites are quite large. You can see some of the screenshots there. You haven't really got a lot of room to manoeuvre. With Saint Dragon, the actual character's a lot smaller. But yeah, it's good though. I do like it. It's not as good as Saint Dragon. It's not a bad horizontal shooter, to be fair. It's got quite a large play area, but you have to stroll around. You have to scroll around to kind of see it all. That makes sense. So yeah, it's not just fixed on one scrolling screen. You can move up, you can move down. Doesn't make it any bloody easier though. But again, that one costs you more than about 10-15 quid all in. So that's Dragon Breed. And next up is a game which almost looked like Houston ripped off their own game, to be fair. Very similar to Synapse. Again, quite a slow-paced shooter with caverns, with parts that are very difficult to fly through without crashing. That's Slayer. Another quite cheap and cheerful game. I like it. It's okay. None of these games are dreadful. It's just none of them are great. But yeah, very much like Synapse. The problem I got is I played a lot of these games about a month before making this particular video, so my memory isn't great. I can't remember how these played exactly, so I have to look at the screenshots to jog my memory really. Little booklet, one disc. But yeah, basically a Synapse ripoff, or is it the other way around? They both come out the same year, to be fair. But yeah, again, another cheapo game to the collection. Now things start getting a little bit more expensive. This game in particular is like one of those bullet hell games. It's not, but it feels like it to me. Lots going on the screen. And the worst thing is, when you've got a game like that, you would expect the scrolling to be silky smooth. Or you'd want the scrolling to be silky smooth, so you've got half a chance. But when it's quite juddery, and all hell breaks loose, it makes it quite difficult on the eye, doesn't it? That's UN Squadron. Again, this one cost me about 20 quid, I think. Might be able to buy it now. Game originally released by Capcom. Should know that because of the colour of the bloody box. Do I like it? It's okay. It's alright. I prefer P47 Thunderbolt to this because they're both quite similar. And probably the best game like this I would say, would be Silkworm. But yeah, I was quite attracted there to the old black and yellow version of the Sinclair Spectrum. Look at that. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, pleased to have that. I did have it before, sold it. Didn't regret it. I just saw it come up for 20 quid. I thought that's not a bad price. Yeah, that is UN Squadron. Again, what do you think of these games thus far? Right, next up we have a game which I recently acquired on the Commodore 64 by a company that I'm trying to get all the games for the Commodore 64. I'm pretty sure they didn't really translate well onto the Amiga. I'm not sure how many of these games actually came out on the Amiga, to be fair, but this particular shoot 'em up is flipping rock hard. That's Armalite, which I'm pretty sure is called Delta 2, but I don't believe Delta got a release on the Amiga. Oh, white there's absorbing that sunlight a bit now. Yeah, it's a tough shooter, it really is. On the same sort of vein again, Synapse and stuff like that. It's just brutally hard. You have to kind of memorise it in some way because you can only take certain routes. Some routes are a lot harder than others. But seriously, I didn't get far at all. That lovely bit of pink bubble wrap in there. This one was a little bit more expensive. I think this one may have been between 25 and 30 quid at an auction. But it's not as good as the C64 version. Yeah, it's tough. It really is hard. I think that's what makes the game almost unplayable, really. It's bloody hard. I wonder if any of you guys have actually ever completed that without a cheat. Yeah, I'm pleased to have it. There's a few Thalamus games I believe came out on the Amiga. Hawkeye might be another one, but I don't know if Hawkeye is a shoot 'em up. I don't know if it is or not. Please let us know in the comments. It saves me having to buy it for the Amiga, doesn't it? Next one. This would have been a Silly Steve purchase. I've had it for quite some time now, I believe. I don't think the others were. I think they were just standard eBay, mostly eBay purchases. This is a game called Zara Thruster. Now this is not the sort of game I like. It looks very pretty though, I've got to say. But damn, is it hard. Again, it's a thrust clone. Is that the right game? You've got to try and keep your ship floating in midair. It's flipping hard. And it's got a lot of inertia, isn't it? So if you go too quick, it's very difficult to correct yourself. Now, I could not get very far at all in this game. In fact, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. %, Zap 64. I'm not sure if that's referring to this game or referring to the classic original Thrust. No idea. So yeah, it's a tough game. It looks pretty, but yeah, if you like this sort of thing, you might enjoy the game. You really might enjoy it. But personally, for me, there's another one I played recently as well in a video I was making. C32 Thruster game. Fly Harder maybe, which I think is a better game than this. I think Fly Harder came out on floppy disk as well. I preferred that to this. This is bloody hard. Again, another Houston game. They make some hard shooters, don't they? Right, next up is another one of those Irem classics from the arcade. This is in okay condition. I prefer this on the Spectrum, to be honest. I found the Spectrum version more playable. That's Mr. Heli. Again, not a bad game though on the Amiga. It's just a lot of clutter on the screen. I find it quite difficult. The music on here is not bad though, quite catchy. Again, you're just trying to unravel crystals, picking them up, whilst avoiding the baddies. So it's kind of horizontal and vertical at the same time. A bit like Blood Money, I suppose, just follow a particular path. It's okay, it comes with a poster and one disc. I don't personally overly rate this game myself. And like I said, I prefer the 8-bit version to be fair. Again, this probably would set you back about 40 quid nowadays. Probably more in nicer condition, because like I said, mine's a little bit. Yeah, got a few little marks and dents on that, unfortunately. That's Mr. Heli. A bit of sticker residue there. I don't think that will come off though, so I think that's well and truly ingrained into the box. Look at that. I think someone's attempted to take it off, but it feels really smooth, so bit of a worry. Right, I've got 4 more left to show you. Next one is a game that I just impulsively picked up. Another horizontal shooting game. This one was about 40 quid, I think. It's called Ziriax. Can't really disclose too much about this game because I don't remember it very well. Again, very similar to games like Synapse and Slayer, really. Just better. I think this game is better. It's just bloody hard. I'm not good at shoot 'em ups, so really I'm not good at them. I like those quite chilled out ones like Flying Shark. Then comes in instructions. And a few other bits and pieces. Got instructions on the back of a big poster. But yeah, not a bad game. Again, like I said, my favourite so far of these games that I've shown you is probably, believe it or not, Dragon Breed. Because the rest are just goddamn hard. But yeah, I'm not sure if this got a budget re-release. I got a feeling it did. But yeah, the graphics are quite pretty. It's just, yeah, it's hard. Next one's hard as well. Next one's quite a desirable title. I've had it for ages. I could do with an upgrade. I think I bought this particular game as part of a bundle. It cost me absolutely nothing at all. But But it is the prequel to Battle Squadron. That is the awesome Hybris. Brilliant music, really good shoot 'em up game. Again, can't get that far in it. Can't get far in any of these frigging games, can I? Not sure if this is a US release or did it come out like this in Europe. I don't know. By a company I'm not really sure. Discovery Software. It's just the way it looks, with the old sticker down the bottom there. It looks more like a US game than anything else. Annapolis. Don't know. Is this the actual European release or not? That's kind of what I'm asking, really. But yeah, this, like I said, costs nothing. A nice, clean condition version of this game will probably set you back about 100 quid. Anything between 80 and 100 quid, I reckon. Lovely game to have in the collection. I do enjoy that one. That is probably, I would say, the best shoot 'em up out of the games I've shown you today. Right, this one I've been after for ages. Just don't often see it coming up, and unfortunately I should have got a copy of it before Brexit. Would have saved myself 20% in VAT. This game is still sealed. I don't have many sealed games. I've been wanting this game for ages. I think it's a sequel to another game I've got, which I can't remember. Maybe Wings of Death. That's Lethal Excess. This was about 100 quid, I think, all in. I'm not sure if I got it from France or Germany. I've been after this game for quite some time. Again, graphically it's very nice. It's got brilliant title music. As I said before, most of the really great title music on the Amiga resides in shoot 'em ups, doesn't it? Or run and gun games like Turrican or Jim Power and games like that. But yeah, that's brilliant. Really pleased to have that. It plays just as well in my view as Wings of Death. It's just, again, for me, a little bit too difficult. Ash has got a lot of gameplay footage of these games. Again, I haven't really, but if you're interested in seeing how they play, I'm pretty sure he's got them as part of his Ash 8 One Before You Shooters series, or Shooters of Ash 8 One Before You. Finally, is a game that still eludes me. I have it on budget. I have it on a US release, but it eludes me on the Domark plastic case release. Now I do have the instructions, I do have the manual for that particular version. All I really need is the inlays, which would be nice if someone had a spare set of inlays kicking around for Wings of Fury. But yeah, I've seen it come up a couple of times on eBay. Both times was listed for 50 quid. Both times it would have got snapped up in about 5 seconds flat, because the game goes for considerably more than that. I'm sure even 2 or 3 years ago I've seen it go for 250 quid. So at auction it's probably going to be a scary state of affairs bidding for that. Yeah, Wings of Fury, that's a respray version, which I think I picked up as part of a wider bundle for about 20 quid. Reminds me a bit of Harrier Attack, that sort of game. Take off from your aircraft carrier. Got certain missions. I can't even get off level 1, to be fair. In fact, I don't think I shot anything. I think you fire your rockets or fire your bullets or drop bombs on your target, return back to the aircraft carrier. I'm assuming the later missions are a hell of a lot bigger. I'm sure there's a budget game that came out on the Amstrad. Is it called Destructo? I'm sure I saw it the other day on someone's video. Destructo played like this. I might be wrong. Yeah, if you look at the back there, that's the screenshots of the game. Not an overly pretty game, but a very desirable title. Now, the budget game can go for about 10 to 15 quid. The one I got is pretty average condition, to be fair. Then it came up on eBay from the good old US of A. It came up, I think it was listed for something like $56. So I thought, bloody hell, I'll have that. Obviously, I got shipping, got import tax to pay. I think it ended up costing me about 75 quid. So I don't think it's a bad price for the American version of Wings of Fury, which actually got an Amstrad release. Oh, I'm denied about the Amstrad version a while back, but I let it go. But yeah, I mean, again, it's the same game. I know what I'm showing you, but this is originally released by Broderbund. Anyway, and re-released over in Europe under the Domark label. Again, like I said before, tough game, but really pleased to have that copy. But I really would like the plastic case game to finish off my Domark plastic case collection, which is something I've been working on for a long time. They just don't come up. They really don't. That's it. So yeah, my favourite games out of that lot. Hybris, definitely a very good game. I reckon Wings of Fury is a great game once you get used to the control system. Sort of thing I like to do, go and bomb things. Lethal Excess is a good game. Like I said, Dragon Breed's good fun. Yeah, the rest are pretty average really. Average to poor. But there's not really many more shoot 'em ups I want to get for the Amiga, I've got to say. Like I said, Ash has got some awesome European examples. Games released by like Kingsoft. And companies like that, which we don't really know much of in the UK. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out Ash's channel. But yeah, so thank you very much for subscribing. I'll see you guys again real soon. So take care and bye for now.